nga pala si Six ang maglalapit palalo sa kasagutan na inyong hinahanap. Simulan na natin ang pakikinig.
It was believed by ancient Greeks for thousands of years that if we could successfully, without measurement, square a circle, then we would be able to achieve a balanced consciousness in a superconscious way. That somehow the very act of drawing the geometry out to square the circle would lead to irrevocable changes within the human psyche.
The concept of squaring the circle basically involves constructing a square with an equal surface area to a circle, or vice versa, using nothing more than a compass and straight edge. Leonardo da Vinci's drawing of a male figure, perfectly inscribed in a circle and square, the Vitruvian Man, illustrates what he believed to be a divine connection between the human form and the universe.
Leonardo left for us an ensign. He left for us an archetype of squaring of the circle. But if we look at it, we'll notice that he didn't actually square the circle. In fact, his square wasn't a perfect square. I started sketching in my notebook the Vitruvian Man because I wanted to get into the mind of Leonardo. And one of the things I first noticed was that I thought I need to measure the angle between the navel and the upper left corners of the square. Because what Leonardo had done is he placed the square in a very unique position where the base of the circle was tangent to the base of the square. And when you measure it, the square doesn't actually measure the same area value. It's far too small. Da Vinci worked on this according to Walter Isaacson, a noted biographer who wrote a complete story of his life.
According to Walter Isaacson, Leonardo da Vinci was the co-author of a book on geometry called Divina Proportione, or Divine Proportion. In which they broke down the golden ratio and its application to geometry through the visual arts of perspective and architecture, something Da Vinci was a master at.
So clearly he understood proportion, and yet the square turns out to be a different value than the circle in area. One of the things that Leonardo always did, and he did it also in the Vitruvian Man, is he always wrote in backwards mirrored text. In fact, when he doesn't write in backward mirrored text, we can assume that he did that for a reason. Our deeper analysis shows us that he has hidden a lot more encryption. The iconic Vitruvian Man. Drawn circa 1490 by the great Leonardo da Vinci. Is probably the most famous image of all time. And yet, for over 5 centuries, no one has noticed he encoded within it astounding knowledge of the Great Pyramid of Giza.
I recently observed that the angle from the navel to the top corner of the square exactly matches the side slope angle of the pyramid. So Leonardo seems to have encrypted the Great Pyramid of Giza. Into the proportions of the square versus the circle. He had to deliberately make that square too small to match the area. But actually what it's doing is it's encrypting for us the slope angle of the Great Pyramid of Giza.
Sistema minanipula. Buksan mo na, bumata, buksan mo na.